Hi guys, this is Kathy Williams-DeVries here for my daily vlog. I also have a vlog on my other channel, Kathy Williams-76, but I thought I'd include in the vlog something that came up in a lesson I gave on Monday regarding alternate fingerings, like the forked B, F sharp, the two different fingerings for the little pinky keys, D sharps, that sort of thing. Today's been an alright day. I tend to wake up feeling pretty awful, but then I do suffer from depression. But I managed to do a 45-minute warm-up, 20 minutes on long tones and scales in sexts, 10 minutes of staccato, and 15 minutes on my chromatic exercise. Plus, I'm about halfway through my assignment on playing Handel his way, looking at one of his recorder sonatas and referencing Handel himself and Joachim Quantz as to how one should ornament and play in the correct style, the Baroque style. So that's going all right. I've got still a week and a half to go, a week and 2 days, and I'm halfway through it, so that's good. But what I thought I'd talk about today is alternate fingerings on the clarinet, although someone said not to call it alternate fingerings because the fingerings are equally valid, although I do talk about trill fingerings as well, and I wouldn't use a trill fingering on anything but a trill or a shake. Yeah, so what I was talking about on my other channel is two fingerings, there are at least two fingerings for a number of different notes. Where I want to start is the pinky keys, so the low E, F, G sharp and F sharp, or B, C sharp, D sharp, C, and these as well. So what I'll start with is I'll start with this low E. Now when I put down this low E, you see this key goes down as well. That's because they're both the same note. That's your low E or your B. You've also got your low F. You see when I put that down, that comes down as well. That's your low C. That's the left hand and the right hand. The E flat, my clarinet does have an alternate E flat, not a lot do, and the low F sharp, C sharp puts down that key. Now, an exercise you can do to strengthen the pinky and to let the pinky know where all the four keys are is although it is easier down the 12th. Because the kinky does need to be fairly mobile in order to get to those, and the same with the left hand. I need to get my clarinet fixed. The B is not as responsive as I would want it to be. Now, the reason we have these two different keys is that for different scales, particularly if we start with E major, we have a G sharp. Now there's only one G sharp on most instruments, so therefore you have to plan your fingerings around it, so that if you have the right hand G sharp, you need to use the left hand F sharp and the right hand E. And there's not a lot you can do about that. And also with the E, for E major scale, because you're probably aware there were two fingerings to the D sharp. So you start with the D, you use this little banana key here, or sliver key, I call it a banana key, but that won't work in an E major scale. You'll have to use this one because you're going from a C sharp to a D sharp. and that's the only fingering you can use. Similarly, in an E flat major, or actually no, in C minor, when playing a C minor arpeggio, now there is only one E flat we can use, so you need to use the left hand C. It's important that the finger knows where that is. In fact, I like to practice my diminished sevenths, simply because that's also applicable from a low F to a low A flat, is that I tend to like to use the diminished sevenths, because they help strengthen the path between the F to A flat or C to E flat. Now, there are also what we call a forked fingering, and that's apparent in the F sharp major scale when we are going from an A sharp to a B natural. Now, this is called a forked fingering. You can see it kind of looks like a fork. I call this a banana key. You can also call it a sliver key. But rather than going from A sharp to B natural, you instead hit the sliver or banana key. I tend to hit it fairly close to the the bridge here, because I also use the sliver key to tune a top F, which tends to be flat. That's me. And so that's what we call a forked fingering. So that's from either a low B natural or F sharp. Similarly, as we go up the F sharp major scale, we hit an E sharp or an F, going to F sharp. Now, normally, you don't really want to do that. And this is where your trill fingering comes in. These four things here are what we call trill keys, is that you put your finger on the bottom two, and you'll get a very nice F sharp out of it. So, very helpful. Now, these trill, they're not called trill fingerings for nothing. If you want to get a really good A to B flat trill, take the second top trill key when you're playing an A, and you'll get yourself a very nice trill fingering. You can also, it also comes out nicer. It sounds slightly nicer. You can use this trill fingering as a B flat. Now, for an A to B trill, you use the top trill key. Similarly, if you want to go from B flat to B natural, use the second top trill key. Although, if you want to go B flat to C, you'll need to use the top two trill keys, because that one's not quite as convincing. If you just use the top one, you need to use the top two. But not to use. I wouldn't use that as a as anything other than a trill fingering. So I think I've covered quite a few of the alternate and trill fingerings. You can also use the F sharp fingering on a high C sharp as well, especially if you're playing D flat major. That's also very convincing. yeah, so I think I've gone through most of the alternate and trill fingerings, if I've forgotten any. The forked fingering, of course, is also used for a top E flat. And I just leave that sliver key on to get to the top F, so it's not flat. So yeah, so this is today's vlog and instructional video on trill fingerings and alternate fingerings. Do not hesitate to contact me, or you can always Skype me at kathywilliamsdevries. As you see, I've got a pretty good webcam happening. So any further questions, don't hesitate to get in touch. That's today's vlog and short clarinet lesson. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.